Hi, it's Tanya from My Forking Life, and today we're in the kitchen and we're making your favorite Rasta Pasta. Well, pretty much jerk chicken pasta, whatever you want to call it. I give a more detailed instruction and discussion about the history of the name in my blog post below. But let's go ahead and get to this recipe. But before we do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like this kind of content. Also, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this recipe. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare my pasta noodles, and I'm going to use penne pasta. Use whatever pasta you want. And we're going to follow the directions of how to cook your pasta according to the box of pasta. So I'm actually going to only cook half of the box of pasta, and I'm going to go ahead and boil my water. So I'm going to bring about 3 quarts of water to a boil, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon of salt because we want this pasta nice and, well seasoned, I guess. Now, while I'm preparing my pasta, I'm going to go ahead and chop my veggies. Now, the thing about Rasta Pasta is it has a lot of different colorful ingredients. I like to use 2 different bell peppers, an orange bell pepper, orange bell pepper, and a red bell pepper. And I'm going to go ahead and thinly slice these. Like that. I'm also going to go ahead and chop up my garlic. Got here 2 really big cloves. My recipe calls for 4 cloves of garlic, but these are large, so I'm only going to use 2. And I'm going to basically just chop these up pretty finely. Also got 2 green onions, also sometimes called spring onions. I'm going to go ahead and chop this as well. Now I'm going to save some of these green onions. I'm going to, toss them in when I'm cooking everything else, but I'm going to save some to sprinkle on the top to make it, fancy. So I'll just make sure that I set a few aside, just so I don't forget. To have some of this to sprinkle on top. And then I've also got here about 2 cups of spinach that I'm going to add to this dish as well. I've got my jerk seasoning and all the other ingredients. No, I don't have all the ingredients. You can find the full list of ingredients below. All right, I'm going to go get what I'm going to add to this pasta, which is shrimp. You could also add chicken. You could leave it meatless if you'd like. You could also add tofu, whatever protein of choice you choose to add. I like to add shrimps, so I'm going to grab those. So I've got about a pound of shrimp here, and I'm going to season this with about a tablespoon of jerk seasoning. You can use store-bought or create your own blend. I'll also link to that recipe below. And I'm going to go ahead and just toss these shrimps in this seasoning, because when it's time to cook them, I want them to be nice and seasoned. Set that to the side. So I'm still waiting patiently, or not so patiently, for my water to boil. So until that happens, I'm going to finish prepping my ingredients just so that when I'm starting to cook, everything's ready. I'm also going to need some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and grate that now, just so that when I'm ready to compose this dish, it is all ready. Legit, like, the longest thing to do for this recipe will be to boil the pasta. And I'm gonna need about a cup of Parmesan cheese. Looks like I finally got my pasta water to boil, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my penne pasta. Again, this is just half the box. And we want to cook this according to the time that is set on the side of the box. So, you know, whatever it says on the box, let's see, I'm gonna check it again. Follow the box, because I am notorious, and maybe other people are out there too, for overcooking pasta. So I'm just gonna set that. And you know, because you get distracted, you put it in there, you're like, I'm gonna know when it's done, I'm gonna check, and then I just get totally distracted. So when you drop the pasta in, make sure you set a timer. I usually go for the lower time that's on the pasta box, but of course you still want to check it, because then we're going to add it into a sauce and let it cook a little bit. So you don't want to overcook it, because then you're just like, oh, this is not good. Anyways, thank you, water, for finally coming to a boil, and we're going to cook that pasta. Right, so my pasta is about done, and you know, don't forget to test it. I just tested it. And basically they're done, and I'm going to use this strainer to drain it, particularly because I want to use some of that pasta water when it comes to making my pasta. I mean, it's well seasoned water. I mean, well, it's got salt in it, and that's going to help bring flavor to this Rasta pasta without us using like any additional ingredients like chicken broth or anything like that. See here? Got all that nice pasta that we're going to use in our dish, and I'm going to use some of that pasta water. So I'm just gonna, so I don't forget, just gonna grab a bit. That's actually how much I need, about 3/4 of a cup. Now the fun part, cooking the pasta. So now I'm gonna heat a skillet. I'm gonna use this dish for now. But essentially I'm going to heat this over medium heat, and then I'm going to add my oil, and then I'm going to add my shrimp to give that a nice quick sear. So I'm going to go ahead and add some oil to this pot. I thought this was open. About 2 tablespoons. I think it's hot enough. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add the shrimp to the oil now. I gotta sneeze. Spices. And I don't want to overcrowd my pan, so I'm going to do this in like 2 batches. It's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes per side to cook the shrimp. Definitely don't want to overcook these shrimp, so go ahead and remove them. So my shrimp is cooked and browned. All right, so now that I got my shrimp cooked and removed, I'm going to go ahead and set that to the side. Pasta water. I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of this pasta water to this to deglaze it. That's going to help get up those brown bits. Grab a spoon, wipe that up a little bit. And at this time, I'm going to add in all my veggies. Well, not my spinach, but I'm going to add in my bell peppers and my garlic and all that other stuff. And I'm going to allow this to cook down for about 5 minutes. Increase my heat a little bit. It smells really good, but I'm telling you, all that pepper is making my eyes water a little bit. And I'm probably going to get the question, is it spicy? A little bit. My 12-year-old can handle it. I wouldn't give it to the baby. Like, I have to, like, you know, give her some unseasoned shrimp or something. All right, so this has cooked down to it's softened a little bit, about 5 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and add the remainder of my pasta water. I'm also going to add in heavy cream, about 3/4 of a cup. I'm going to add some jerk seasoning, a little bit more to that. And I'm going to simmer this for a little bit so it thickens some. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit more jerk seasoning. I want it, not the whole thing. And I want that to come back to a simmer and simmer it so it can thicken just a little bit. All right, so it's thickened just a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my other ingredients. I'm gonna add in my cheese. I'm also gonna add in my spinach. It's about 2 cups of spinach, and that was about a cup of cheese. I'm gonna mix that in first before I add in this pasta and the shrimp. It smells so good. And I want this spinach to pretty much just wilt in the sauce. And I'm gonna add in that pasta as well. Dump it all in there. Go ahead and give that pasta a stir in there. Oh, so good. Go ahead and turn that off. Oh, it smells so good. And I'm gonna add my shrimp back as well, along with the juices. And there you have it, a quick and easy Rasta pasta dish. I'm going to go ahead and just, remember I said I was going to sprinkle sprinkle those green onions back on top because, you know, why not? All right, if you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, like this video, please. All right, until the next time, bye. Grab a little bit of this pasta.